Something I'm sure we'll remember from our northbound leg is this beautiful, beautiful church behind me. And it just so happens at the back of the church, I don't think you can see from right here, we'll just see. But at the back of the church, behind the church, oh, you can see it maybe just slightly, there's a well-equipped, functioning outhouse. Thank you so much for having that outhouse there this morning. Very much appreciated. Hey, beautiful country road. A few cars seem to come down here, but it doesn't seem very busy. Yeah, beautiful little spot. What a perfect place to rest. Anyhow, good morning everybody. Welcome to October the 8th and milestone day 60 of our Bruce Trail YoYo. Man, 2 months we've been on this trail, and so far absolutely amazing. As we push closer to the Toronto section, which we'll reach later today, later in the afternoon, and again that will just leave the Toronto, the Iroquois and the Niagara sections. School buses going by. I think that's what I'll be doing when I get back home for the winter, driving the school bus maybe. We'll see, I don't know. But anyhow, that's what I've done for several years. But anyhow, yeah, as the hike gets ever closer to the Queenston Heights Park and the southern terminus of the Bruce Trail, maybe 10 days to go, give or take, I start to wonder what comes next. But I know, I mean, I'll have my day and overnight hikes all winter into the spring, and then will come my 2021 through hiking season. And of course, we're still very much in pursuit of the Colorado, which again we would have been doing this year if it hadn't been for the bug. Anyhow, closer and closer we get, nearer and nearer we go. Whew. Just coming off this country road now and back into the forest. There is on the Bruce Trail a certain amount of road walking, but you know what? It's not overly done. It's not too much. And I love these country back roads, as you know, if you watch my channel. I just love them. As a photographer, there's just some amazing things to see early on the morning on the country back roads. As the farm and the farmer kind of comes to life and so on for the day. The light kind of kisses the ground and just kind of starts to illuminate across the fields. Oh, it's just beautiful, especially with a little mist on a morning. Like in the fall, this time of year, the colors, it's awesome. But anyhow, today promises to be challenging. We've got to lay down some miles. Tomorrow is our resupply in Georgetown, and our night at the Cedar Springs Motel, which we booked. I used, in this case, hotels.com, so that gives me one night closer to my free night. Over the years, as a photographer, I go to England, go to Iceland in pursuit of landscape images and so on, and quite often I book with hotels.com, and after every, I think, 9 or 10 bookings, you get a night free. I've had several of those, and last night is a paying night, but it will be one more night towards my next night free. Just thought I'd throw that out there. I'm not sponsored by Hotels.com, by the way, although they could sponsor me if they wanted to. That would be great. Hell, anybody could sponsor me if they wanted to. That would be really great. It's very challenging financially to be out on trail. The gear, the time, the loss of wages, food, accommodations, and so on, and transportation. And that's why I'm developing, hopefully, an affiliate page with Amazon, or an affiliate link with Amazon, and also a Patreon page to help with the funding. But hey, we'll talk more about that down the road once I get things figured out, but support is always welcome. Anyhow, yeah, so today's going to be a challenging day. We've got lots of miles to lay down, and today's our key day. Well, actually 2 days before is your key day for positioning for a resupply, but today is very much part of our positioning for our resupply. That'll put us in Cedar Springs and Georgetown at a reasonable hour. Lots of time to do laundry, hot bath, resupply, gear check, gear cleaning and drying and so on, charging all the battery packs, all the equipment. So yeah. Oh, sorry, my nose is running. It's cold this morning. I think this morning was probably the coolest morning of all so far. But again, October the 8th in Ontario. Look, the sun's coming up in the distance. You can see the brightness through the trees. Beautiful, isn't it? Especially how it's illuminating a little bit of these colors here. See that? If you want to see magic, folks, you just got to get up in the morning. Really. Because it's just a beautiful time of the day. Oh. Look through there. Oh my, yes. Beautiful. Well, okay, let's get these miles done. Now this particular home, yes, I am on their property, but on my northbound leg, I'd noticed there's a hose pipe on the side of the house there. And I came into their property and I just tapped on the door, and this absolutely charming lady opened the door, and then her husband came to the door and they gladly gave me water. And I explained to them what I was doing, and they said, oh my goodness. They said, well, make sure that on your way back you stop in and get more water. Well, I did. Now it's early on the morning, and these wonderful folks in the golden years of their lives with a beautiful property and a beautiful location, they're probably still in bed. It's early. But I filled up 1 liter from their hose. And again, thank you so much for just being who you are, folks. Thank you. Anyhow, yeah, so that's kind of nostalgic, sentimental. Yeah, it is. Okay, again, back on another country road, but not for too long. Okay, the morning progresses. Still very early. Once again, we reach the tunnel, a tunnel. As we progress further south, we're going to cross more and more major highways. And as we do that, we're going to use crossovers and or tunnels. This one, I'm not sure if this is crossing Highway 10. Is it? Is it your Ontario Street? Is it? Maybe put a comment below and let us know, because I'm not 100% sure. But we do recall coming under here on our northbound leg. Oh yeah, busy road. There's the tunnel. Hey, day 60 progresses well. Had some beautiful kind of back country road hiking this morning. Beautiful sunrise through the trees. Oh look, there's a little picture of me. Gorgeous morning. Still cold. I'm still wearing all my layers and toque and gloves and the whole bit. But I guess it has to be expected. It's October. Although I would expect it to still be warmer or warm up a little bit during the day. Fall in October and fall in Ontario can be really quite mild and pleasantly warm, but not lately. Rain, high winds, storms, some sunshine, but bitterly cold with those winds too. Anyhow, certainly remember very well this section. Beautiful color ahead. Beautiful stately home, although right next to that major highway. I don't know, but I guess they've got children. Or maybe it's like a daycare home, a building, I don't know. Another beautiful home. Gorgeous homes. You know, all throughout this hike, you come across areas that have some beautiful, beautiful stately type homes, mansion homes and so on. Homes that are being built with love and a lot of money. But as we progress further south, we seem to get more and more of those really expensive kind of estates, shall we say. We've had lots already, like this one here on the right with the big gates leading onto the property. And look at that. I mean, hey, now that guy's got a bubba too, that's for sure. Time for second breakfast, everybody. So, I promised to show you more about this. This is my cereal bag. Now in here you can put whatever you want. And this one is muesli, bran flakes. I consider those to be important items. Cornflakes, added vitamins and minerals, and a filler. And in there are 3 spoons, probably this big, this size, whatever, of powdered milk. No name, carnations, whatever. Add your water. I don't particularly measure it exactly. Whoop, there goes the cap. Sometimes it's not quite enough water to begin with, and this isn't. Got to put more water in there right off the bat, I can tell. Not too much more. There we go. Seal it back up. Give it a good shake all about. Cereal in a bag. Ready to go. You're carrying water anyhow, so you really just use it when you need to. So again, muesli, bran flakes, corn flakes. Delicious. Yeah. Day 60 goes fine. We're about 8 kilometers in so far for the day. Not sure what time it is right now, but we'll have a look and see. 9:30. Okay, we're doing fine. Gonna enjoy my Oh, and raisins in there. It's super hard to get proper nutrition on the trail. We rely on a lot of bars. Everything we eat on the trail, pretty much, most things, it's got a lot of added sugar. It's really hard to keep away from that. You try to do the best you can. I consider this to be a healthy option, as healthy as can be here. I would love a big bowl of fresh fruit right now and yogurt. Got carry it with me, and I don't have it. It's good. Hiking alongside the Credit River, heading towards the forks of the Credit. Now, both times, last year 2019 and this year coming north, both times I camped at the forks of the Credit, right at the little park there. Today, heading south, that's not a camping option for me. Way too early in the day. I don't believe it's 11 a.m. yet. Long way to go yet today. It's a beautiful river, all the same. Beautiful parkland. Excellent camping spot right here. I have loved it in here. Camped here twice. In fact, both times I camped right down here. Right in there, both times. Over here, I think those rocks right there was my dinner, breakfast table. Maybe those rocks, I don't know. I forget now. Go take a look at the river, and then we're gonna push south. A lot of people come to these banks to spread ashes of loved ones and friends and so on. In fact, it's such a popular place for spreading ashes. They even have some guidelines to follow in that regard. Posted, I believe now, somewhere around here, if memory serves me correctly. See what it says. Yes, families and individuals who wish to scatter cremated remains of a loved one can do so in Forks of the Credit Provincial Park on both land and water. Wow. Then a few rules. Wow. Lunch today was bacon jerky with instant mashed potatoes, a Big Daddy chocolate chip cookie, and coffee. And whilst I was having my lunch, I was going over some Facebook comments and questions. So here's a question we haven't answered at all on this particular hike, but I have answered it before on some of my videos on my YouTube channel, Trail Named Jasper. And that is about camping. How do I pick a site? Where do I pick a site? And what do I do? How do I go about it? What's the criteria? And the gentleman that asked this particular question, I think his name was Chris. I think it was Chris Brown. His first name's definitely Chris. So this answer's for you, Chris, and everybody else. But for you, Chris. Anyhow, so what's the criteria for a camp? Well, first of all, it depends on the trail, depends on the time of year, depends on the time of day. But because the question came in on the Bruce Trail page, we will assume and answer it in regards to the Bruce Trail. So first of all, as we know, camping is, I'll say frowned upon, some will say illegal, and a whole bunch of things in between, but it's definitely not supported on the Bruce Trail, except in a very few designated overnight rest areas or public commercial campgrounds. And there's just not enough of those by any means. So a person has to do what we call wild camping or stealth camping. Okay, equipment, that's important. I would not on the Bruce Trail necessarily be using a tent that's say bright white, bright orange, bright yellow, bright blue, neon, anything like that. Anything that attracts attention, because we are stealth camping. I go for a green color tent or something that's a little darker maybe, if I can. Having said that, what kind of site do I look for? Well, as the day progresses and it gets later and later and later, my expectations for a perfect campsite kind of diminish, insofar as if at say 5 o'clock I start kind of thinking, you know what, I'm getting a little bit tired now. If I found the perfect camp spot, I would take it. 6 o'clock, well, you know what, I'm not so picky. And 7 o'clock, oh God, I'll take anything that comes along, as far as the site's concerned. I like something flat, obviously, something out of the way, something a little quiet, something where I'm not going to disturb others and others won't particularly disturb me. I won't have people walking past me, walking their dog all night long. I like to find something, if for instance there's somewhere to sit, such as rocks, logs, something like that. So you can sit and have your dinner, sit and have your coffee, sit and have your breakfast on something, rather than just on the ground. Although the ground, I sit on it many times when I'm camping because there's nothing there. A wet camp. A wet camp means there's water there or nearby. A stream, a pond, a river, a lake, whatever. These are great because you've got lots and lots of water for all your water needs, cooking and so on, and when you leave the next morning you can leave with full supplies of water if you so desire. So a wet camp is great. Picnic tables, quite often I find picnic tables on some of these trails or benches, and I camp right next to them, and that's perfect because again you've somewhere to sit, somewhere to put your gear, somewhere to relax. That's basically what I look for. Where? Well, on a summer's evening, there's nothing like the corner of a farmer's field with a gentle breeze. On a colder evening, there's nothing like a pine forest with the soft pine needles. Sometimes you have to trim a few branches off the bottom of the pine trees and you snuggle yourself in to a sheltered area. That is nice too. I love those kind of spots. But could be right on the side of the trail at 7 o'clock on a rainy night. You think to yourself, nobody's going to come down here now at this time of night in September or October. It's going to be dark in another 20 minutes. It's rainy, it's miserable. Hey, I set up camp sometimes right at the side of the trail. It all depends. Last night, for instance, was right at the side of the trail. So there, that answers that question for Chris and anyone else. Now, when we were doing the northbound section, or the northbound leg of this yo-yo, the Cheltenham Badlands were closed to the public. They are now open, and we've now entered into the land, if you will, or territory or whatever, of the Cheltenham Badlands. It's restricted to the amount of people, and they did check with me. They said if you're hiking the Bruce Trail, you do not need a reservation. If you arrive in a car just to go to the Badlands, you do need a reservation, and I was free to proceed. But they're controlling the amount of people that they allow into, I guess, the park area. So this time we did get to walk through or hike through the Cheltenham Badland area. Last time we had to do the detour. Either way. Now this little spot here, I think Tyler sat here. I think he came in here, got himself some food, probably sat on those picnic tables. I'm just gonna check it out. Maybe I can pick myself up a little something. I walked past this last year, on last year's through hike, and I walked right by. I walked right by on this year's northbound section of the Bruce Trail. But on my southbound section, I thought, you know what, I'm going to check it out, see what it's all about. So hey, this place, it's a cidery, is well worth stopping at. Coffee, and it's good coffee. Mulberry scones. I got some English bread rolls. And it just started raining like absolutely crazy, but I am sat under the canopy, or the deck, the balcony, the pavilion, whatever you call it. I'm going to have my coffee. I'm going to enjoy my phone. Timing was perfect. Reasonably priced for like gourmet foods and barista gourmet coffees. Two of these, and that coffee was $8 Canadian money, which isn't actually bad. For what I bought here. I'm going to enjoy this time. So yeah, this location is called Spirit Tree Estate Cidery. Wood-fired oven bakery, local food shop. And you know what? Definitely worth stopping in for. Excellent selection of quality baked goods. A quality cidery bar on tap. Coffee, teas of all kinds, different kinds of cheeses and sausages and meats, apples, all kinds of apples and pears, all that they grow here. This is all the apple trees that we can see are behind the fence. The sun's coming out through the clouds, and it's one of those days today where one minute it's raining and hailing, the next minute it's sun shining. But that worked out right, because it started raining really hard just as I walked out of the store and right underneath that canopy where I sat to enjoy both of my mulberry scones and a coffee. So yeah, highly recommend Spirit Tree Cidery right here. If you're heading southbound, it's just as you enter the Toronto section, and if you're northbound, it's just as you're about to leave the Toronto section. Make sure you stop in. Oh, by the way, I didn't get one, but they have excellent pizzas by the whole or by the slice, all artisan made. Full menu. The end of day 60 finds me nestled again in the pines. Just the kind of place I like to be, nestled inside the pines. The trail that I'll follow in the morning. I hit camp a little bit earlier today, kind of tired, a little bit of pain, quite a bit of pain on the left side of my left foot today, day 60. So I thought, you know what, I'm gonna kind of shut down slightly sooner So I think by about 4:45 I was at camp. Tomorrow, I think I have about 15 kilometers, give or take a kilometer, to hit the motel, Cedar Springs, and then bathtub, laundry, Uber into town, resupply. Tomorrow being a resupply day, I have to check on the maps tonight what the distance is from the Cedar Springs Motel to Waterdown, because Waterdown would be my next resupply option. I don't think it's far. It could be a couple of days, that's all, which means it wouldn't be a major carry out of Georgetown, but I definitely need the supplies. I definitely need to recharge battery packs. I'm almost down to fumes now when it comes to electricity. So yeah, that's good. And of course, as I said, I need the bath. It's been 5 days since the last bath and last laundry. So I need a bath, need laundry, need to charge the battery packs. Beautiful sky, nice blue. It's about 6:15, I think, in the evening now. Had dinner tonight. I had the last of my Wise Company dehydrated meals. And tonight I had a beef with noodles with a bread roll. One that I'd picked up today at the Spirit Tree, was it? The Spirit Tree Cidery. And also a Twix cookie. And I had tea, a cup of tea tonight, rather than coffee, because I do like tea also. So yeah, that's it. The end of day 60. I haven't calculated the distance today. Wouldn't be huge, because as I say, I stopped earlier than normal. Maybe, I don't know, let's say 25 to somewhere between 25 to 28 kilometers today, something like that. It's fine. Yeah. So tomorrow, day 61, we're in the Toronto section. We did cross into the Toronto section today, just south of Cheltenham Badlands. So yeah, that was good. Everything went fine. It's been a perfect day. We got to see a rainbow today. Yeah, everything's been good. Just to say, just a little bit of pain in the left foot, so I'm just going to kind of wet wipe my feet tonight and put some cream on, and then put my woolly JB Feel socks on. It's going to be cold, I think, going down to somewhere around 1, 2, or 3 degrees Celsius, so it's going to be a little chilly, but it's okay. Again, the Patagonia sleeping bag keeps me nice and warm. I'll see you guys in the morning for day 61, and tomorrow will be October the 9th, I think. Good night.